Pay attention to this. A woman stands behind an SUV parked in a driveway. She opens the trunk. She looks inside. At first, her mind cannot understand what she is seeing. Then it does. Her hands rise to her face. Tears spill instantly. That is when her husband comes running. She notices him, and her body jerks in fear. He grabs her. She tries to pull away. He grips her arm tightly. She runs anyway, dragging him with her. Together, they disappear from the camera's view. The husband later told police that she ran away and he could not catch her. That was a lie. She never made it off that driveway. And what she discovered inside that trunk was the reason she had to die. This is the story of a woman who believed her husband was cheating. She was right, but that was not the secret that killed her. The secret was far worse. And by the time she uncovered it, she had only about 30 seconds left to live. Lauren Prescott was 34 years old, married for 8 years to a man named Tyler Brennan. They lived in a quiet neighborhood in Savannah, Georgia. A nice house, 2 cars, a white picket fence. The kind of life that looks perfect from the outside. No children. They had tried for years, but it never happened. Lauren had gone through fertility treatments, hormone injections, and medical procedures. Every failure hurt deeper than the last. Eventually, she accepted it. She told herself that some couples were simply not meant to be parents. She convinced herself that she and Tyler could still build a beautiful life together without children. She told herself many things to survive the disappointment. Lauren worked as a dental hygienist at a family practice in downtown Savannah. She had worked there for 9 years. Her patients adored her. She remembered their children's names. She asked about their vacations. She made the dentist chair feel less frightening. Her coworkers described her as steady, dependable, the person everyone relied on when things became stressful. She carried that same devotion into her marriage. She remembered anniversaries. She planned date nights. She kept trying even when Tyler seemed distant. Tyler was 37. He worked in beauty product sales. He was a regional manager for a high-end skincare company called Luminina Beauty. A good salary, expensive suits, a company vehicle. He traveled constantly. Client meetings in Atlanta, trade shows in Charlotte, training conferences in Miami. At least that is what he told Lauren. She believed him. Why would she not? He was her husband. They had been together since their mid-20s. They had built a life together. For 8 years, she never questioned where he was or who he was with. Then, on March 3, 2024, she received something in the mail that shattered everything. A Polaroid photograph. No return address. No letter. No explanation. Just a single photo inside a plain white envelope addressed to Lauren Prescott. She almost threw it away, assuming it was junk mail. But something made her open it. The photograph showed a woman standing in front of a bathroom mirror taking a picture of herself. The woman appeared to be in her late 20s, dark hair, a pretty face, and visibly pregnant. Her hand rested over her belly, as if protecting something precious. On the bottom of the Polaroid, 5 words were written in black ink. The handwriting was careful and deliberate, as if the writer wanted every letter to be perfectly clear. This baby is your husband's. Lauren's first reaction was denial. It had to be a mistake, a prank, someone trying to hurt her for reasons she could not understand. Tyler would never cheat. They had been together 8 years. They had built a life. He loved her, did he not? She stared at the photograph for nearly an hour at the kitchen table, reading those 5 words again and again. The handwriting looked desperate, shaky, like someone who was frightened. Someone who needed Lauren to know the truth, even if they could not say it directly. By the time Tyler returned home that evening, Lauren had made a decision. She would not confront him. Not yet. She needed proof. She needed to understand exactly what she was facing before she said a word. That decision became the last decision she would ever make. Tyler came home acting normal. He kissed her cheek, asked about her day. He ate dinner with her and talked about a client meeting scheduled for the following morning. Lauren watched him, and wondered how long he had been lying. How many client meetings were really hotel rooms with another woman? How many conferences were actually weekends spent with someone else? She felt sick, but kept her composure. She smiled, nodded, and waited until he went to sleep. She needed to search his belongings. She needed evidence. But she never got the chance that night. The next morning, while Tyler was in the shower, she noticed his car keys on the kitchen counter and remembered something. Tyler had become extremely protective of his vehicle. He always parked it himself. He never allowed her to borrow it. He claimed he kept work samples in the trunk that he did not want disturbed. Work samples. Lauren picked up the keys. Here is what you must understand about the timing. Tyler had killed Megan Alcott 5 days earlier. He had placed her body inside a storage chest in the trunk while he figured out what to do. He planned to move her that night, March 4th. He had already chosen an abandoned property 40 miles outside Savannah where no one would ever look. He only needed to get through one more day of work. Lauren found the trunk 6 hours before he planned to move it. 6 hours. If she had waited one more day, if she had searched his phone instead of his car, if she had done anything differently, she might still be alive. But she did not wait, and Tyler's window of escape slammed shut the moment she pressed the trunk release button. The driveway camera captured everything that followed. March 4th, 2024. 7:42 in the morning. The sun was already up. Birds were singing. It looked like the beginning of an ordinary Monday. Tyler was still inside, preparing for work. Lauren stepped out the front door and walked directly to his SUV parked in the driveway. She moved with purpose. She had made a decision and intended to see it through. She glanced back at the house once to make sure Tyler was not watching. Then she pressed the button to open the trunk. The trunk lifted slowly. Lauren looked inside. For a moment, she simply stood there, her body stiff, trying to process what she was seeing. Inside was a large black storage chest, heavy duty, the type used for camping equipment or seasonal decorations. The lid was slightly open, and there was something else. Dark stains on the carpet. Dried brown stains, unmistakable. Her hand shook as she lifted the lid just a few inches. What she saw shattered her. A hand. A woman's hand. Fingernails painted red. The exact same shade of red seen in the Polaroid photograph. The woman in the mirror had been wearing that same nail polish. Lauren stumbled backward as if she had been struck. Her hands flew to her mouth. A sound escaped her that was not quite a scream, more like the air being knocked from her lungs. She began to cry, shaking, her entire body trembling with a horror so overwhelming her mind could not fully process it. Her husband had not only cheated on her, he had killed the woman he cheated with. And now Laura knew. That is when Tyler appeared. He ran out of the front door, still in his work clothes, tie knot fully knotted, moving far too fast. He was not confused. He was not curious. He had heard the trunk open from inside the house. He had been listening for that sound for 5 days, dreading this exact moment. Now it was happening. His only thought was stopping her. Lauren saw him coming, and her body reacted with pure animal terror. This was no longer her husband. This was a predator, a killer, a man who placed a woman's body in his trunk like luggage. She tried to run. He grabbed her arm. She twisted and pulled, trying to break free. He held tight, his fingers digging into her flesh. She screamed, or at least her mouth opened, as if she were screaming. The camera has no audio. No one will ever know if anyone heard her. She ran anyway, dragging him with her. Both moved across the driveway in a terrible dance. She trying to escape, he refusing to release his grip. Her feet scrambling for traction, his hold like iron. They vanished from the camera view together, still connected, still struggling. That is where the footage ends. That is the final 11 seconds of Lauren Prescott's life, recorded on video. Everything that happened after that exists only in Tyler's memory, and he has never spoken about it. Tyler called the police at 8:15 that same morning. He reported his wife missing. He said they had an argument about something minor. He said she became upset and ran off. He said he tried to follow her, but she was too fast. He said he drove around the neighborhood looking for her, but could not find her. He said he was worried, and he looked worried. He played the concerned husband perfectly. For almost 72 hours, it worked. The first thing that made investigators suspicious was the security camera. Tyler forgot about it. He had installed it himself 2 years earlier after several car break-ins in the neighborhood. He had watched the footage dozens of times to check package deliveries. But on the morning of March 4th, he did not think about it. He did not realize it had captured everything. When police asked to see any home security footage, he hesitated for just a second. They noticed. They asked again. He gave them access. And everything changed. Detective Maria Santos watched the footage 6 times. She saw Lauren open the trunk. She saw Lauren's reaction, the way her body collapsed, the way she backed away in horror. She saw Tyler run out and grab his wife. She saw them struggle and disappear together. Then she watched Tyler's statement again. He said Lauren ran away after a minor argument. He said he tried to follow her, but could not catch her. But in the footage, he was holding her arm. He did not let go. They left frame together with him gripping her. That was not a woman running away. That was a woman being taken. Detective Santos obtained a warrant to search Tyler's vehicle. Before the search, she did background research on Tyler Brennan. On paper, he looked clean. Regional sales manager for a high-end skincare company called Luminina Beauty. Strong performance reviews. No criminal record. Not even a parking ticket. His neighbors described him as friendly and quiet. A good husband who traveled often for work. His colleagues said he was charming with clients, especially female clients. One coworker mentioned Tyler always had many private conversations, always stepping outside to take calls, always protective of his phone. But that was just Tyler being Tyler. Professional. Private. Nothing suspicious. Except everything was suspicious now. The trunk of Tyler's SUV told the whole story. The storage chest was gone. Tyler had managed to move it during the chaos after Lauren disappeared. But luminol revealed what he could not erase. Blood traces everywhere. On the carpet lining. On the edges where the chest had rested. On the underside of the trunk lid. Splatter patterns across the interior walls. Someone had bled heavily in that trunk. And someone had tried very hard to make it disappear. The blood matched Lauren Prescott. Further testing confirmed it. But there was something else. Mixed within Lauren's blood were traces of another blood type. Someone else had bled in that trunk before Lauren. Someone whose DNA was not yet in any system. Tyler was arrested on March 7, 2024. 3 days after Lauren disappeared. He maintained his story. She ran away. He could not catch her. He did not know where she was. He could not explain the blood. He could not explain the footage. He just kept repeating that she ran away. While processing the arrest, Detective Santos searched Lauren's personal belongings. Inside Lauren's nightstand drawer, she found a Polaroid. A pregnant woman in a mirror. 5 words written at the bottom. This baby is your husband's. That was the moment Detective Santos realized this was more than a missing wife. There was another woman. And if Tyler had killed Lauren to protect a secret, then maybe Lauren was not the first. Her name was Megan Alcott, 28 years old, a receptionist at a medical spa in downtown Savannah. Dark hair, warm smile. Everyone who knew her said she was kind and trusting, the kind of person who saw the best in people even when they did not deserve it.